Let's talk about regular expressions. Now, regular expressions aren't unique to Python. As a matter of fact, you see them all over programming languages. But I'm going to teach you regular expression just quickly because they are very useful, especially when you're doing, let's say, validation, like checking that somebody has entered the right email, or you have password requirements, or you want to check if a piece of string exists in a piece of text. So this is something that we're going to explore in this video. Regular expressions. What are they? Well, luckily for us, Python comes with a regular expression module. Remember, regular expressions aren't Python specific. You can use them pretty much in any language. But they're very useful for finding things in a piece of text. So let's say we have a string here. And we can say string search inside of this text, please. There we go. Now, let's say I wanted to search for something here. First of all, could I do something like this? Could I say search in string? Let's print here. And if I click run, I get true. And this is a simple way for us to search something inside of a string. So why do we even need regular expressions? Well, regular expressions are a little bit more powerful than just this, because maybe we want to search how many times search occurs in this string, or maybe we have a complicated string. Let me show you what I mean. The way we use something like regular expressions is using this format. So I can say re dot, and then in here use search. And as you can see here, we give it a pattern and a string and some flags. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So all we need to say is, what pattern do you want to do? Well, I want to search if this exists in the string. So I can say this, and then give it the actual string. In our case, well, this is our string. So if I run this, well, let's print out what happens here. So let's do print. If I click run, all right, I get what I call a match object. A regular expression gives us an output, not just true or false, but an actual object that tells us a little bit more information about this. And you can see over here, one of the information is the span. So where it occurs in the string. It occurs at index of 17 and ends at index of 21. So that's really useful. Let's store this information and just say A here. So what can we do with this match object? Well, the first thing we can do is to check what we have. So we have, first of all, span, which we've seen. And if I run this, it tells me where the string occurs as a tuple. So index of 17 to index of 21. I can also do start, and start, well, tells me when the text starts. And I can also do group, or actually, I can also do end to show me where it ends. And then I can also do group. And group returns the part of the string where there was the match. And let's say there was another this in here. If I click run, you see that, well, it only gives me that piece of or part of the string that there was the match. Now, group is really useful when we're trying to do multiple searches. So in our case, we are just doing one search. So we have a pattern that we're trying to match. But there's ways that we can do multiple searches within the one line. But before I show you that, what happens if we do something that doesn't exist, such as this with a capital S? If I click run, I get an error because now A is going to be none. Because if the regular expression doesn't find anything, it's going to return none. So it's either going to return a match object or none. Now, how can we make this more advanced? Well, one thing we can do is to create a pattern that we want to check for. So let's say pattern here. And this pattern, we're going to use regular expression.compile. And the compile is going to allow us to give, just like we did here, a pattern. So let's say in here, I simply want to check for this. Now, this pattern I can use, instead of just doing re.search, I can just use the pattern now to do the search for me. So again, if I run this, well, now I don't have to pass it this. I need to just pass it the string that we want to search. See that this is being captured? And I can use pattern now everywhere, multiple times. So let's say I can do pattern dot all the methods that we have. We have quite a lot, actually. Let me show you some of the useful ones. We have find all, which finds all the instances of the match. So let's say in here, B, and click run. Look at that. I have this and this. So I get both instances of this inside of a list. I can also do something like full match. And full match, well, makes you sure that everything matches fully. So if I click run here, let's print C here, click run, I get none because I don't get a full match. In order for a full match to return the match, it has to be the exact string that we're searching. So if I click run, there you go. I get a match object now. Now let's say I have a question mark in here instead of an exclamation mark. If I click run, it's none. If I have exclamation mark and then maybe something else afterwards, I still get none. We also have another option, which is match. And match, as you can see, matches 0 or more characters at the beginning of the string. So if I do string here and I print D, well, actually, let me change this up. Let's do here, Andre, in the string that we're actually comparing. And if I click run, I still get a match object, versus if I do C, which uses a full match, which gives me a none because, well, we only want an exact match here, versus a match that matches the string and then doesn't care what comes afterwards. So this is extremely useful. But up until now, I mean, we get a couple of methods that we can use, which are quite useful, but this doesn't seem that powerful. Why do all languages have regular expressions? Why do we really care? Well, in the next video, we're going to explore this idea of pattern and how we can do some really advanced patterns. I'll see you in the next video.